Hey everybody, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com and welcome to another 5 minutes to a better mix tutorial. We're looking at 31 mixing tips in 31 days and I hope that you've been enjoying them so far. Today's tip is a real simple one. We're going to look at drums and it's how to just clean up your drum tracks with one simple little move, okay? This doesn't maybe 100% work every single time, but this one move I find helps out a ton with my overall mix on the drums. So early on in the drum mixing process, you can open up a drum bus if you like, which is simply a stereo track that all your drum tracks are routed to. So in this case, I have my drum mics, which are technically 6 tracks here, 1 stereo and 4 mono. And instead of having them all output to my speakers or my sub mix, they're all outputted to a track called drums, which is right here. And this is just a stereo auxiliary track. It's a bus, it's a group track, whatever you want to call it. It just allows audio to pass through it. And that allows you, to place effects and plugins on this one track and it'll affect all the drums. Pretty standard stuff here. But this is early in the mix process, and one way to clean up the drums before you go in and nitpick on the individual drum tracks themselves is just to notch out around 500 hertz on the drums. Now, I hate to throw out specific frequencies like they're magic because I don't really believe that they're always magic, and I don't even remember frequencies that well, but I know that 500 hertz on the drums I find a lot of issues with. And instead of trying to notch it out every single place, why don't you just do it here on the bus? Let me show you what I mean. I've got the drums routed here. So if I mute the bus, you don't hear the drums. They're all going through here first. And I'm just going to open up an EQ. Let's just pick a 4-band. And what I'm going to do is make sure that I've got, let's see, this mid-frequency button right here. I'm going to type in 500 hertz. And I'm just going to press play and notch out a healthy amount at a real wide Q. I'm just going to notch out 500 hertz and see what it does. All right, well, let's take a listen to it. Let's bypass and see what that little move did. Do you hear how that cleaned up our drums? I hear two things when I notch out this about 5 dB here on 500 hertz. I hear more fatness and low end in the drum kit, so the kick drum. I feel like that low end tightens up a bit. I also feel like it gets rid of a little bit of ring on the snare. Now that ring frequency might be different, obviously, depending on the snare you use, the way you mic'd it, the way it was played. But this frequency range around 500 hertz, I feel like you usually cut a lot of that ring, which just, even though it's real and it's there, when you're thinking about a polished drum sound on the records you like to listen to, you're not going to get a bunch of ring. You're going to get just crystal clear, fat drums. And this one little move, I think, does a lot of that for you at the very beginning of your mixing phase. Let's listen again. It just cleans out a lot of that cardboard nastiness that's hanging around 400, 500 hertz. So try that next time on your drum mix. Just throw up an EQ right at the beginning. Listen around 500 hertz and start notching it out 3, 4, 5, 6 dB, whatever, and see if that really cleans up your drum sound and makes it a little more polished, a little more professional before you even have to dive into the nitty gritty. Hope that helps. Again, this is Graham at therecordingrevolution.com with 5 minutes to a better mix. We will see you on tomorrow's video.